All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Willie James,
I'm Lucas Bustamante. How's it going?
and today we're going to be talking about the Yakuza tattoo culture.
Indeed.
Okay, so
Let's get rolling.
yeah, Yakuza tattooing, the
All right.
history of it branches off from the Edo period,
The
right?
other period, yep, which
Yes,
was
sir.
1608 to 1868. So 260 years of consistent tattooing in this style, which really developed it and solidified it in the Yakuza culture, Japanese culture in itself.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. Lucas, I believe you have a visual aid of
Yeah.
that style,
Let me
right?
show you really quick. So we got these guys right here. So you can see kind of So you can see their different styles here, all the different colors and patterns. And Willie has another visual aid to show you on
Yep.
how these tattoos are important and why they look the way they look.
So the reason why they have a space in the middle and they cut off at the forearm is because for a long time those tattoos were illegal, and
Hmm.
in Japanese culture they're still looked down upon in some way. So here's a traditional kimono, Japanese kimono.
Yep.
As you can see, it's short at the sleeve, exactly where the cutoff area for the tattoo would be, and there's a space in the middle, exactly where that space in the middle that
So
Lucas showed.
they'd all have when they wear their kimonos, they would be able to you wouldn't be able to see the tattoos on the side. It
That's
would
right.
just be the skin in the middle.
That's right.
Um, and
So
then
yeah.
continuing with history, so the Meiji era, which is 1868 to 1912, the government outlawed the Irizumi style of tattooing, which kind of made everybody or all the tattoo artists go underground, and it made it really difficult to get them because obviously it's a hard style to do, and you're having to hide from police, military, government. So it kind of just really gave the Yakuza and made it kind of their own thing.
That is correct. And post World War II, there was actually a surge in the Yakuza uh, due to the mainstream media popping them out so much, them being romanticized in movies. There were often times where you would see them with traditional Japanese swords called bokins in movies. The younger guys using them to beat up some of the other clans that they were warring against. But according to a Britannica article, the Yakuza reached peak numbers at almost 80,000
Yeah,
around that time,
that's
which I
crazy.
thought was insane.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
people.
that is a lot of people to control.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Um,
We're location. So
yeah,
the Yakuza were mainly located in Tokyo, uh, Osaka. They were also located on Kyushu, which was a island, um, specifically in the Fukuoka region of
yep,
that island. So they're kind of all over Japan, but the big ones like the Yamaguchi Gumi,
the
which is like the
Yamaguchi Gumi.
big one of the big organizations within the Yakuza. They were located in Osaka.
I think we both actually read a CNN article
Yeah,
about the Yamaguchi Gumi
yeah.
and how their members had a branch off where some of them broke off because they couldn't move up through the ranks fast enough. So they created their own sect. And the violence between the two of them was so bad that the police couldn't handle them.
Yeah.
And they were actually able to go into the police station themselves, emboldened to do so, and tell them, look, this is an inside problem. We'll handle this on our own,
Yeah.
which I thought was insane.
I mean, it's crazy that they had that much influence within the Japanese culture, especially with a culture of such respect and,
That's right.
um, I mean, honor towards other people. Yeah, it's really interesting.
And you bring up a good point, culture.
Yeah.
So the tattooing portion of it, as far as Japanese culture and the Yakuza, how are they pulling in members? How are they convincing guys to basically throw their lives away? The Oyabans or the bosses of the Yakuza would pay for the tattoos of the new members and tell them, hey, you work this off, then you're able to move yourself up the ranks. But oftentimes, it was proven not true.
Which is, I mean, it's sad because it's like they would trick these young guys into going in. I mean, joining a crime syndicate when it was just not what they should be doing at the time.
Exactly,
Yep.
exactly.
And then the kind of styles of tattoos that they get to show. I mean, they had a bunch of different things that could symbolize a bunch of different things, but the main ones were like dragons, like you see the traditional dragon stuff, dragon Japanese tattoos,
Yep.
tigers, snakes, lotus flowers, which all represented different things like strength, power, respect, honor, courage. Yeah,
Some of the major themes that you would see in Japanese culture regarding these animals and science, like the symbolism,
mm-hmm.
all intricately woven
Yep,
into these Japanese tattoos.
yep,
Even Buddhism, if you want to touch on religion,
yep, yep,
they have pictures of Buddha on the back. I know that carnations were used inside the coffins of Japanese people when they died, and a lot of people would get carnations branded on themselves as well. So
And
it's
speaking of religion,
yeah,
kind of, they would. They practice Buddhism.
That is correct.
I
That
got
is
that
correct.
from Britannica. Yep. And then they also practice Shintoism, which I didn't really know much
Yeah.
about. Um, but it's really interesting that even though they were a giant crime syndicate, they were still able to practice some sort of religion and have that aspect of their lives, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. And the last thing I can remember is from a documentary called Marked for Death, Death of the Yakuza. They would talk about how some of the members would purposefully recruit guys who were tattoo artists
Mm,
so that they could be within the gang to keep doing that style.
yeah.
And if these men refused to do it, they would be extorted, they would be beaten up, sometimes even killed if they refused to tattoo for the gang. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. That's crazy. Yep. And then last kind of little thing, I feel like we kind of touched on it, but this style of tattoo is ridiculously intricate. I mean, hand poked, hand carved.
yep. Takes hours to do. Sessions are sometimes 8 hours at a time. Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, yeah. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Just a few last things. My sources were from CNN, Britannica, Wikipedia, and OIP.
And my sources were also from CNN, Britannica, as well as the documentary that I mentioned, Yakuza Marked for Death. And there was also one from the U.S. Department of Justice.
Awesome. Thank you.
Take care.